Borussia Dortmund got themselves a 3-1 win over Bielefeld, and that was without Erling Haaland. We'll get to him in just a moment, but there were some lovely goals in this one. There was the Emre Can penalty. Okay, fair enough. Then you had Mats Hummels scoring an absolute worldie, and then Jude Bellingham. What a world-class goal that was. Definitely pick of the bunch, Janusz.
Yeah, I mean, it's, as a former defender, I'll take Mats Hummels because every striker in the world would have been proud of that, right? I mean, 20 yards away, the height of that volley, I mean, it wasn't perfectly set for him, right? And to release that, I mean, it has to be the best goal he's ever scored, right? I mean, it's not that he scores, he scores enough on set pieces, usually headers, of course, but that to me was just incredible. But it's hard to differentiate the two because if you look at Jude Bellingham, it's just a remarkable talent. I mean, incredible. He's already, usually when you're this young, you say to yourself, well, he's still developing. Of course he is, but already what he's doing right now, it's at a level of a veteran. It is incredible. I mean, as when he picks up that ball just outside of the penalty area, then dribbles past three defenders and then just clips it over. Yes, there was an effort to save it, on the line there. Obviously the ball was over. The ease in which he does that, it's to me absolutely incredible. It was this game, we've seen it before already, so it certainly is remarkable, especially without Erling Haaland. But let's not forget, this was I look at this and Borussia Dortmund has to keep up with this Bayern, and they have, and that is good for Bundesliga, for the race. Is it realistic for them? There is a question mark about that, but what a great reaction for Borussia Dortmund after the mauling against Ajax in the Champions League, because that's what it was, really. I mean, 4-0, you wonder, no Haaland. And I have to look down because there's so many key players missing in this team. So here we are. They started without Mahmoud Dahoud, without Guerrero, without Gio Reyna, Haaland, of course, Thomas Meunier, Nico Schulz. I mean, they had to change to three in the back because there was really no left back that they had to play in. And then during the game, Gregor Kobo, their goalkeeper, gets injured. Remember, there was that double save. I think Pograncic made a big mistake where I think Arminia Bielefeld could have and should have scored, perhaps. So here's your goalkeeper out at halftime as well. In comes Marvin Hitz, didn't keep a clean sheet in the end, but that was, I think, Mats Hummels. He was at fault for that, of course, bringing down a player, and it was a penalty. So no fault of Marvin Hitz in that one.
No, it was Mats Hummels, but we'll let him off for that goal that he scored. You mentioned that about Jude Bellingham, still so young and just looking like a veteran. Still leadership skills as well that he's got, Janusz, for such a young player. And that's so important in this side, isn't it?
Yes, it is, because he's so incredible on both sides of the ball. Let's not forget, I mean, if you look at Borussia Dortmund and the way they play, usually they play that diamond, right? I mean, we've seen him everywhere on the right-hand side because Gio Reyna is not there. We've seen him early in the season at the bottom of the diamond, which tells you that he's being trusted, defensively as well. And not only does he distribute, but obviously great on the dribble. That goal was tremendous, scores goals. His vision is absolutely tremendous. So, I mean, we've seen him already at, for England. This is a special player. We did 2 Bundesliga games, Jamal Musiala, another player for Bayern Munich, right? Those two young players kind of maybe in some ways competing against each other, similar yet different. But if you look at Jude Bellingham, just tremendous.
Okay, so just to end, what's going on with Borussia Dortmund? What do they have to do? Yes, you did mention all the absences, and obviously they've got themselves a big win today. But as you mentioned, it was 4-0 against them in the Champions League earlier this week. And then we see a win like this. It feels as though you never know what you're going to get from them. So how do they start to get some consistency going?
Well, same story. I mean, they lack balance defensively, set pieces. That continues, maybe not as bad. I can't remember the statistic as it was, well, it's early as it was last season or the season before, but that seems to be an issue. Look, as much as I look at Mats Hummels, okay, he's not getting any better. Defensively, he does have some issues. Man, that penalty beaten, overcommitting, but obviously not as quick, not as mobile, not as agile.
And when he didn't need to as well, right, Janusz? The lead.
Right, but I think we've seen that over already the course of the season. Akanji, as good as he was for Switzerland European Championships, he had a slow start to the season. Thomas Meunier hasn't been great. He didn't play obviously today. So there are issues defensively for Borussia Dortmund, no doubt about that. Even in that midfield makes you wonder a little bit. Axel Witsel didn't start, came in, but again, the lack of that true holding defender that protects the back four usually, or three today, isn't really there. So I think the team is just not as balanced. Relying on Haaland, he's going to score. Today they scored without him. So I think that's what comes to my mind just quickly and immediately.
And yet they are still just behind Bayern, breathing down their necks.
Still there.
The Bundesliga title race is still on.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.